Hey everyone, Kevin here, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, I'm starting to feel like my channel is rapidly becoming me just going over current events in education, but yet another one hit the news that I wanted to comment on. So here we are once again, my friends. So what's happened this time? Well, not once, but twice within a couple of days of each other, two teachers within 45 minutes of me have been placed on administrative leave after going on anti-Trump and political rants in class. Oh, yeah, and another Connecticut teacher has resigned over her TikTok rant threatening people with violence for supporting him, too. I actually just did a long video discussing Trump's ideas for education, by the way. Check that out if you're interested. Well, let's take a moment and listen to these rants, which, for better or worse, were recorded by students in their classes. The first is an English teacher at Chino High School in Chino. The second is a history teacher at Valley View High School in Reno Valley. And the last is a special education teacher in Connecticut.
People voted for a freaking rapist and I'm pissed off. I don't care. Fire the hell out of me. I'm fighting for my daughter, my nieces, their rights. Vote for that freaking rape. Katrina, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have a daughter. I have 3 nieces. He raped them, and people are voting for him. The Christians are voting for him. Bunch of losers. Fake Christians. Turn it off and go back to your freaking seat now. Go. Take the. Can you send security up? Please, a boy who has a Trump hat on, and I'm not going to tolerate it.
A rapist, draft dodging. Why would he win? Why did he win? Can you end up in a concentration camp in your lifetime? Yes. Can you end up with no human rights? Yes. Will it happen to you? Most likely not. But has Donald Trump quoted Hitler? Yes. Does he embody some of Hitler's ideas? Yes.
And all the people that I care about aren't going to be safe in America. Neither the are you guys. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for. You're not in the clear. And just please don't test your gangster on me, because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. So serious. Nobody talk to me unless you want to swing. If you want to fight, text me, call me, whatever. Anybody else, stay the out of my face. And if you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and I can handle you how I see fit. Please just come forward. We know. Just tell me or leave. Please, the door.
So, what are my thoughts on all this? Basically, it frustrates me, and for multiple reasons. On the obvious base level, this kind of rhetoric has absolutely no place in a classroom. Hard stop. A teacher's role is not to tell kids what to think. Rather, it is our job to get them to think. They already get told what to think all the time from the mainstream media and from the internet, and that kind of debate isn't conducive to an effective learning environment. Whether you like Trump or not is irrelevant to this discussion, and you have every right to feel whichever way you do, which is actually also the point. You're going to have kids in your class who love Trump and others who hate him. You have to teach and cater to both of these groups of students, and by taking a side, all you do is alienate the other. Though the expression that a student won't learn from a teacher they don't like isn't entirely accurate, it isn't entirely wrong either. The teacher at Chino High School went off on a student for wearing a MAGA hat, and though, yes, the school's policy was no hats in class, that doesn't excuse the guy for what he said. Not only calling out people who voted for Trump, but also literally calling all Christians losers and fake if they supported him. You know who else is in your classes too? Christians. And now you're alienating them too. And worse still, you know what these teachers are teaching these kids? That it's okay to be rude, disrespectful of others, and to dismiss their opinions. As I said in another video, education doesn't teach kids to hate their country like Trump has claimed in the past, but it does often teach kids to not respect people with differing or opposing viewpoints. We teach kids how to debate rather than listen or have civil discussions. We teach them how to be the loudest voice rather than having conversations where we reach an understanding with other people and come to some kind of compromise if we disagree. And a single ounce of credit to the teacher of Valley View High School who gave lip service to a realistic argument, even though nearly all of it was highly inappropriate. Oh, and as an aside, I'm very familiar with that school. My partner was an instructor there for a while, and I've been to the campus many times, so it amused me when I saw it hit the news. But as a history teacher too, I was shocked at how he presented the historical context, equating Trump to Hitler and so forth. Whether you think that or not is again irrelevant. And again, historically speaking, if you want to make a comparison, then he's more akin to Benito Mussolini than Hitler. But regardless, history class is even more than others a place where really difficult topics are going to be discussed and reflected upon. Those have to be done in very even handed and objective ways. Else, you'll just end up telling the kids what to think rather than getting them to think critically about something. Plus, they'll form erroneous understandings about our past. I mean, it reminds me of when I would teach the Scramble for Africa by Europeans. Yes, there was racism behind it, and the whole white man's burden played into that, but there was an entirely deeper aspect to it where Europeans colonized the continent to extract and seize their natural resources. It was called imperialism and was an incredibly important thing. I had students act out the Berlin Conference, where Europeans divided up Africa, formed alliances to get what they wanted, and began to understand why they chose to take over what they did. It was by far one of the most enjoyable things I did all year long in world history. And you know what? That alone taught them two of the major reasons why the First World War would eventually break out at the same time: imperialism and the alliance system. Or, I could have just called Europeans racist and saved 2 weeks of class time. Which do you think provides more context? I've known so many educators who did that, though. And even my second mentor teacher and I absolutely did not get along during student teaching because she would routinely spout her political beliefs and ideas in class, which skewed history and led kids down the wrong path. Ironically, teachers who do what the two that were placed on leave did are doing exactly what Trump and a lot of my YouTube comment section has been saying teachers do all the time: indoctrinate their kids. And even though I've said that's not going on before, there are still teachers who are clearly trying to express their beliefs in inappropriate ways and settings. Worse still, a lot of these kids have walked out of class and are protesting to get those teachers reinstated, even when honestly, they shouldn't be. I know if I had said what these teachers did, I wouldn't want my kids to have my back, because I taught them better than that. Kids need to be taught how to think, not what to think. And these teachers failed in their role to follow that simple guideline. But with that all in there for the day, thanks for listening, and please like and subscribe to see more of my content, or check out some of my most recent videos. Until next time, though, I will see you in the next video.